You are the product. Not a metaphor, a price, and a surprisingly exact one. Every single year, one company earns about $57 from a single human being. Not by selling them anything, by selling something that belongs to them, to someone else entirely. Your attention. And the strangest part isn't that they sell it. It's that you hand it over, for free, gladly, on a schedule that was engineered, deliberately, to work exactly like a casino floor. So, let's start with the number, because it's real, and it's on the public record. Meta, the company behind the apps in your pocket, publishes a figure every quarter it calls average revenue per user. Exactly what it sounds like, their total income divided by the people who use their apps. In 2025, worldwide, that figure sits around $57 a year. In the United States and Canada, where attention is worth more, it climbs past $200. That is not what you paid them. You paid nothing. That is what advertisers paid them, for the right to reach you while you scroll. And here is how that $57 is actually made. Because following the money is the whole point. Every time a feed loads, a silent auction runs, in milliseconds. Advertisers bid against each other for the right to put something in front of you, specifically. Your age, your habits, the things you paused on yesterday. Every detail sharpens the price. You never see the auction. You just see the next post. But in that fraction of a second, you were appraised, listed, and sold. Thousands of times a year. That's where the 57 comes from, not from your wallet, but from your attention being auctioned while you thought you were just killing time. Now multiply. Not one user, billions. Stack every feed, every platform, every silent auction running at once, and you're looking at the largest single industry the human attention span has ever funded. Digital advertising. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year, built almost entirely on hours people don't remember spending. That is the thing to sit with. This isn't a side effect of apps being fun. The harvesting of attention is the business. The app is just the trap that makes the harvest feel like a choice. You are not the user of a free product. You are the crop being grown. Hold that rate flat across one adult life, 40 years, and don't even let it grow. Even though it has risen 74% in just the last 6. So, $2,280 from one platform. At today's rate, being generous. And that is only the part you can see, which raises the only question that matters, the one that empties your account, not just your evening. Why does it work? Why can a company sell your attention so reliably that it can put a 40-year price on it and book the revenue in advance? The answer isn't in the app. It's in a circuit in your brain older than language, older than farming, older than money itself. And the people building these feeds understand it far better than you do. It's called variable ratio reinforcement. In the 1950s, the psychologist B.F. Skinner put animals in a box with a lever. When the lever gave a reward every single time, they pressed it calmly and stopped when full. But when it paid out on a random, unpredictable schedule, sometimes after 3 presses, sometimes 30, sometimes never, they pressed compulsively, relentlessly, long past hunger. They couldn't stop. That finding, that unpredictable rewards drive the most persistent behavior of any schedule known, is one of the most reliable results in the history of psychology. It is the exact principle a slot machine is built on. And it is now the exact principle your feed is built on too. Here's the part most people get wrong. We assume the craving is about the reward, the like, the clip, the good post. It isn't. Decades of neuroscience have shown that dopamine, the chemical driving all of this, is not the chemical of pleasure. It's the chemical of anticipation. It doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes hardest in the uncertain moment just before, when the reward might be coming and your brain can't be sure. Certainty is calm. It's the maybe that fires the circuit. So the feed isn't selling you good content. It's selling you the maybe. The next swipe might be the one. That flicker of not knowing is the product, and chemically, it's the most compelling state your brain can be in. And none of this is an accident. It was designed. The gesture you make 100 times a day, pull down, let the feed refresh, was modeled, openly, on the arm of a slot machine. Pull, and wait to see what comes up. The endless feed that never reaches a bottom exists so there is no natural moment to stop. Autoplay removes the decision to continue. The little red badge is a reward you can see but not yet open. A maybe, made visible, sitting on your home screen. These aren't bugs or coincidences. They are the most refined behavioral engineering ever deployed at scale, built by teams whose explicit job is to increase the time you spend. Because time spent is auctions run, and auctions run is the $57. The casino didn't move into your pocket by accident. It was installed, one feature at a time. Now, why would a brain find uncertainty this irresistible in the first place? Because for almost the entire history of our species, the things that kept you alive arrived unpredictably. The forager who returned to the same bush again and again, because last time, sometimes, there were berries, outate and outlived the one who quit after a single empty branch. Rain, game, ripe fruit, danger, all of it came on a variable schedule. So the brain evolved one ruthless rule. When a reward might come on the next try, keep trying. Persistence through uncertainty was survival. For 200,000 years, that rule served you. But it quietly assumed two things: that unpredictable rewards were rare, and that chasing them cost real effort. A bush held a finite number of berries. The savanna eventually ran dry. The feed breaks both. The rewards are infinite. The effort is a thumb. It is a bush that never empties, on a branch that never ends. Biologists have a word for an artificial trigger more intense than anything in nature: a superstimulus. Junk food is a superstimulus for a system built to crave scarce fat and sugar. The feed is a superstimulus for a system built to chase scarce, unpredictable reward. Your brain is doing exactly what kept your ancestors alive. It simply has no defense against a bush built to never run dry. And here's what makes it genuinely hard, harder than just calling it evil. The circuit itself isn't a flaw. The same hunger for what's next that the feed hijacks is the thing that makes you turn the page of a good book, run an experiment, learn an instrument, fall in love. Variable reward is the engine of curiosity itself. There is nothing wrong with your brain. The problem isn't the circuit. It's that the circuit has been captured, pointed deliberately at a screen that gives back nothing by people who are paid every time it fires. You're not weak for getting caught. You were caught by something built at enormous expense specifically to catch you. And if this stopped at attention, at wasted hours, it would merely be unfair. But it doesn't stop at attention. Because there is a reason an advertiser will pay $57 to reach you, and it is not generosity. They pay $57 because, on average, they get more than $57 back in things you buy, which means the real number, the one that leaves your account, not just your evening, is hiding one layer deeper. I'll show you where it goes in a moment. Picture an ordinary evening. You pick up the phone to check one thing, a message, the time, nothing. 40 minutes later you surface and couldn't honestly say what you saw. That's the circuit, running. And trace how it began. A notification. Not a neutral message, a lever pull sent to you. It arrives unpredictably, often batched, timed to catch a quiet moment. The badge is a near miss made visible. Something is waiting. You open it to clear the maybe, and the moment you do, the feed has you, and the auctions begin. One notification, engineered to be uncertain, drops you straight onto the casino floor. Multiply that by the dozens you get a day. Somewhere in those 40 minutes, a handful of ads reached you on the exact schedule that had your guard down. A week later, one quietly became a purchase you half forgotten you decided on. You didn't feel sold to, you felt like you found it. That feeling, that it was your own idea, is the system doing exactly what it was built to do. So, first, the warning. Now that you've seen the rate, the danger isn't the time. Everyone warns you about the time. The real danger is that variable ratio reinforcement is invisible while it runs. You never feel manipulated. You feel curious. You feel like you chose to pick the phone up. And that feeling of choice is not a flaw in the system. It is the system, working perfectly. The slot machine's masterpiece was never the win. It's the near miss. The 2 out of 3 that feels like you almost had it, so you go again. Your feed is built from near misses. The post that was almost interesting. The video nearly worth it. A schedule you cannot feel is a schedule you cannot fight with willpower alone. So, follow the money the rest of the way. The amount they earn from you is the floor, not the ceiling, of what you spend because of them. The $57 was never your loss. It was their gain. Follow it far enough, past the hours and into the purchases, and you arrive at the one sentence this entire system is built to keep you from saying. You were never the customer. The advertisers are the customers. You were the inventory. Appraised, listed, and sold in 2025 at $57 a head. You cannot out-willpower a casino. The house has the math, and now you know why. So don't fight the urge. Break the schedule that creates it. First, kill the variable. Turn off every notification that arrives unpredictably. A notification is the schedule reaching out to you. Silence it, and the bush stops whispering that it might have something for you. Second, make the reward predictable. Check on a fixed time, not on a craving. The moment a reward becomes scheduled, the dopamine circuit loses interest, because predictable rewards are, chemically, weak ones. That's not a side effect. That's the cure. Third, put friction back where the swipe is. Log out. Keep the app off the phone, only in a browser. The loop needs the next try to be effortless. One barrier collapses the whole machine. Fourth, move the $57 before it moves itself. Whatever you'd have spent because the feed reached you, automate it out of reach the day you're paid, into a place the swipe can't follow. You are not fighting a bad habit. You are unrenting a circuit someone else has been collecting on. So if this changed how the feed looks to you, the action is one line. Before you close this video, turn off one unpredictable notification. Just one. That is the schedule broken once. And if you want to see the other half of this machine, how the feed doesn't just sell your attention, but quietly studies you, learns you, and trains itself on you specifically, that's the episode waiting right here. Watch it next, and subscribe, because we're auditing these circuits one at a time, and the next one costs more than this one. Next time. There's a mechanism that doesn't make you scroll. It makes you hold. Long after holding stops making any sense. But it never feels like a trap. It feels like loyalty, like patience, like virtue. And on the ledger, loyalty to the wrong thing has the highest price of all.